We haven't had like a dirty one in a long time.
Mm-mm. Well, I guess last week we had the sharing of the dildos.
Yeah.
Mm, um,
It's like that was I.
yeah, yeah.
She said,
I
she
want,
said,
I
she
want
said,
something
toys
that
are
would make
my
me
ministry.
gag.
She said, toys are my ministry. So I don't give a fuck about no toys.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about no damn toy.
What is
Yeah,
this?
what that got to do with
toys?
me?
What your toys got to do with me?
Not Toys R Us, bitch.
Not children's palace.
Children's. That's a
I can't.
throwback.
Uh-huh.
Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Anime, don't eat the cake.
Ask Yo Auntea's social groups.
And RuPaul's All Stars. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
Hey, welcome to Minoritea Report. It's Auntea Kerel.
It's Auntie Dawon.
And it's Auntie Jarrell.
What's up, ladies? What's up, ladies?
Hey.
And community, it's one of them days. We already was talking for like 20 minutes beforehand.
Oh, it was. And I was late on top of that.
You know, it is what
That's
it
okay.
is. We
That's
just
okay.
in one of those modes. So whenever we get into one of those modes, we never know what's about to pop up in episode.
And based on how the last couple of episodes have been going, we've been saying some pretty ridiculous things.
Not
so-
we, Dawon's been dropping bars. You've been cracking me the fuck up. That little Kim thing, that little Kim drumsticks thing. I was done. Every time I looked at the clip, every time someone commented, tears again because it's so true.
I wish I could have found like a gift of her performing, because nothing like takes the place of the actual image. And
Yeah.
if you haven't watched it, you'll be like, that wasn't really.
Well,
like,
it was
you
the good
watch it,
week because she was at Essence Fest, so she was like all
Yeah.
over his social media again, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot. And by the way, we need to go to Essence Fest one year. Like that should be looking lit as hell.
We need to do a lot.
I'll be down for that, but I ain't trying to pay these prices. Like these airline flights, these hotels. No,
You right.
not at all.
Speaking of, I do got some bad news, ladies. I will not be at Market Days because of the exact reason.
Oh yeah, well that's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
I know.
For the flights.
It's
950.
$950.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked. I
950.
need to look at that tonight.
And my coworker is in South Africa, so I can't take off time. So I have to leave Friday after 6 p.m.
Oh,
and I have to be I have to be back by 8 a.m.
Because
Monday
no,
morning.
that ain't worth
Oh,
it.
well,
Because girl,
that-
you're gonna be
yeah,
up for like
no,
36
not at
hours
all.
Girl,
as
exactly.
it is.
Not for no 950. I said no. Mm-mm.
Oh damn.
No. So
Well,
that's wild, because that's like meeting in the middle a little bit for all of us.
I
Yeah.
know.
You know,
like
I know. I was about to say like first time in 3 years down the drain. Damn prices. Damn. We'll figure it out though. We'll make it happen
Yeah.
soon enough.
but either way, I'm gonna come out there to see one of y'all, and then we just go. Because
Hop on the train.
y'all are hop, skip,
We'll
jump from
scrunch
each
up.
other. Exactly.
Absolutely. I know. I was
Well,
at Dawon's places last
I'll
weekend.
Come that way. I'll come that way because it's easier for y'all to come
Perfect.
together. So I'll come that way.
I know that
Okay.
was really cool because, like, for I don't even want to call it the 4th of July because it wasn't really a celebration of the 4th of July. It was a celebration of getting with my friends
Yes.
and my husband.
It was a gathering.
It was a gathering of sorts. It was Juneteenth again or something. I don't know. But it was just cool to be able to just literally, the train ride was like an hour and a half, hop our ass into the city, and like you're just like, it's weird. I don't even know if it's really hit me, even though I did it. Like it still feels like it might be like, oh, you know, I'm taking a trip to New York City instead of it being pretty much my backyard. That's wild. But
Yeah.
hey Marco, hey Tony, hey, hey Milos, hey Hugo. I finally
all
met
y'all
them.
got together.
Exactly, I finally met them all this time. So yeah, that was
And,
fun.
And you met Elena and
And the lady, yes. And
So
we're gonna have a guest soon with one of the two. We won't spoil too much yet, but yeah, no, that was dope.
Talk about. But can I just say one thing?
What's that?
My cake.
Ooh.
Wait.
I hate you so much for this.
What?
See, okay.
You set it up.
See, when they say get you some friends that'll tell you the truth, get you some friends that will tell you the truth.
Boy, he got some friends that are looking out for him and don't want to do it in a public setting. I was going to do it later.
Right, after you got called out. No. Oh, yeah, but I was going to say something later. No. Okay, so y'all know I love to cook. And this whole weekend, Adam and I and Ugo and Milos, we decided to go to Long Island because our friends Peter and Stuart, they have a house out there, and they were going to be gone for the weekend. So we went out there. They have a lovely lovely big place, a lot of space to spread out. So we were out there while all the firecrackers and all the things were going on at all hours of the night here in the city. So we were like cool with that. But we wanted to come back because I wanted to do a little like rooftop barbecue on the 4th. And so not to celebrate the 4th of July because, we don't do that. But just because it's an extra day and I want to enjoy the rooftop.
That part of it.
You want to enjoy that free money.
Absolutely. So rush home, go to the supermarket, get a bunch of stuff. And then I decide, in addition to like making doing like a big barbecue with like meats and I'm going to make a cake. And so I found this recipe that just looked absolutely amazing, and it was appropriate for somebody that has dietary restrictions. So because I wasn't for sure if Kerel and Corey were going to come, but I was like, I just want to have something there outside of just vegetables and fruit that Corey could eat. So I make this cake, and it's looking delicious.
It looked pretty as hell, yeah.
Not it looked pretty.
Right. It did. I made homemade whipped cream. I made this like strawberry coulis that was mixed with Aperol and just.
It was like a Chardonnay moment.
It had the elements.
It had the elements. It just didn't have the element of grace.
So unfortunately, Myra and Elena had to leave, so they were just popping over for a little bit. So they left a little bit early, but it was just us gays. And so we're like, okay, well, let's go on up to the rooftop or whatever. So meanwhile, I had like offered my cake to a couple of people, and they had ate it. And then I grabbed the cake and took it up to the rooftop or whatever, and I made myself a plate because I'm like, okay, I have to try this, like, because I didn't even taste the batter,
You just
went into it.
You just put it together and it was pretty.
Girl, when I tell you this shit tasted like boo-boo and ass funk and sawdust.
It didn't even have like a taste. It was like cardboard or something.
It was nothing. It tasted like nothing. But I took one bite, and I'm in front of everybody. I took one bite of my own cake. I was like, oh, this is nasty. and then I looked at everybody else, and I'm like, y'all didn't think this was nasty? Ain't nobody gonna tell me. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that this shit that I done served and try to push down y'all throats is nasty as fuck.
And then I lean over, I go, girl, I'm glad you said it because I was gonna tell you later.
I'm like, you ain't no friend. Just tell my ass. I'm not gonna have people walking away from my party thinking, damn.
Here's the funny thing. The funny thing about the whole situation, because like Dawon had his cake, Marco and Tony, and by the way, hey Marco, Tony, go follow Pod Relationship Podcast. Those are our home girls, home crew, But so Marco had brought a cake over too. It was like the battles of the cakes and stuff like that. And so Marco's cake, I was like, oh, that's good. And I was like, okay, let me try Dawon's. And I was like, ooh. Oh, okay. And then I was like, maybe
unbeknownst to me, I'm in service mode. I'm like making sure everybody had their cocktails. I'm like still like I'm doing all the the host things.
That cake
hit me like a brick. I was like, why did somebody say something? I could have thrown this away.
So he brings it upstairs after we had all kind of tried it downstairs. and nobody's eating it. Like, it's just sitting there. And so Dawon finally goes to takes a bite of it, and he realized why. And that shit was just sitting there. Well, I didn't want to do it in front of everybody. Like, that's rude to be like, "Oh, girl, your cake ain't hitting." Especially if you would have thought your cake was hitting, then that would have been like weird and awkward and mean. So I was like, I'll just tell him later, be like, "Hey,
Look,
it might have needed a little something."
Y'all might look as fellow aunties and sisters in life. You have permission to tell me if my food tastes like boo boo. I want to know as soon as possible, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw that shit out and we'll start over. Like, ain't nobody coming over to my house getting some boo boo food. Like,
and it was so funny. I didn't even tell you this piece too, because Corey was like, "Did you like the cake?" And I was like, "No," but I was like, "No, I was like, "What? I'll tell him later." Like, because we did not want to make a scene, we did not want to make a scene.
I mean, to y'all's credit though, I could understand like that choice, choice. But
it's like the energy was dope. Like the sun was shining, the music was right.
Not the sun was shining.
The drinks would go. The coconut slushy he made was fire. So like it was just a moment you didn't want to ruin the vibes and just say your cake tastes like shit.
Ooh, girl, this cake you could throw this away. But you now have permission. I'm just
Thank you.
giving you permission going forward. If shit ain't right, you tell me, because Auntie Chardonnay is one thing that you know about Auntie Chardonnay. If I can dish it out, bitch, I'ma take it.
You right.
I'ma take it. I want to know.
He said, "Ooh." I said, "Ooh, this y'all ain't gonna tell me this cake tastes like boo boo." That shit was so funny. But no, that was fun. So thank you for having us over, boo. That was a fun time. Thank you for
coming in the city.
My toes though. Woo. I got 2 blisters on my one on my right toe and one on my left big toe. Because
you were walking.
Walking. And I had just got a pedicure the day before, which is not the time to get a pedicure and walk around the city with fresh ass feet. Girl, oh my God, my feet are hurting still. They are screaming. They are upset. Oh God.
That's hard, because like these New York streets, like the sidewalks in the summer are like 1,000 degrees.
Girl.
So you like, not only are you getting the pressure of just like walking or whatever, but you're getting heat from all angles. So feet are swelling up.
Yeah.
They're rubbing even more. It's
I was like, Nike, I want my money back. These shoes, they did nothing. I want my money
I mean,
back.
unless y'all want to sponsor us. I mean,
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Case,
have an auntie shoe line. Okay, now. Hey.
Dr. Scholl's, we talking to y'all too.
Oh, that used to be. I used to work for the company that made Dr. Scholl's back in the day, and then they just actually recently sold it off. But Gerald, how was yours? What did you do for the long weekend?
So my bestie Chu was in town from Minnesota.
Wait, did he move there?
No, he didn't move here. So
I saw that his story. I was like, did that bitch move there? I was like, what?
No, we have a running joke that whenever we travel places, we say like we didn't move. Or we sometimes randomly say we're going to like New Zealand. We ain't nowhere.
It's like we just at the crib.
We just literally at the crib. But girl, when I tell you, can't nobody like get me out of like my Seattle calmness than like my chosen family. Like being around y'all, being around my chosen family just makes me just want to
turn up,
be so present and turn up and just create these moments. When I tell you,
can we just say the first adjective again? Can you just say the first adjective again?
What, turn up?
No, pleasant.
He said pleasant or present?
Present.
Oh, did you say? Oh, I thought you said be so pleasant. I was like,
okay. It's like, since when?
Euphoria.
I was like, no, but I love being present. And so like he got in on Friday and we just hit the ground running. I'm talking about we were doing shots of Rumplemans. We were just like, girl, we were throwing it back, bitch. We were like college days.
Yes.
Okay? And up until 3 a.m., 5 a.m., at least every night until he left. before
That's how it
before
should be.
but 4th of July though, I said, bitch, I gotta work tomorrow. So we gonna be 34, okay? And we gonna make sure that we waking up ready to go.
I know that's right.
I'm not messing with the corn. So then on the 4th of July, we just went to brunch and like played games at the park and had some White Claws and watched the fireworks from across all of like pretty much King County from my balcony. And it was good. It was dope. Went to Vancouver and we had a bestie day out there.
I know. What was that bar with all the go-go dances? I was like, ooh, what's this? What's that?
Where the daddies at? Girl, that was a daddy. Pump Jack,
Oh, Pump Jack. Okay.
So it's like the daddy bar. Hey. And it's funny because we had those moments where we were like, we know what bar we feel more comfortable at. We went to Numbers, which were the young people, because it's 19 to drink in Vancouver, in Canada.
Oh,
so we went to Numbers, where like the young people at, where you want to be 20 something, and we were like, this ain't it. Like,
it's romper room.
We were literally we were like the old men sitting at the bar just watching the young people like. But then we go to the daddy bar and we like, it was just a whole different.
I'm here for it. I'm so here for that.
We were like, well, we know where we at now.
I have yet to go to Vancouver. That is on my. I haven't been to like the Pacific Northwest. That is just still on my list. I need to get out and see Yo Ass in Seattle, and then I need to get up to Vancouver.
And they don't got a lot of black folk up there too. So
so the hot commodity.
I was walking around, people were like.
They said that ass. Look at that ass. Oh, look at that ass. You see it.
Yes.
Like, take a picture, it'll last you long.
Right.
Girl,
ain't nothing like a little adoration though.
1,000%.
Every time I go to Vancouver, I always get free drinks. Like
3
different times, the bartender was like, "Oh, this guy brought you this drink," and I was like,
"Thank you."
I said, "Thank you," but I was like, "But I need to actually make sure you make this drink. So can I watch you make it again for me?"
Yeah.
So they were like, "That's actually very smart," and I was like, "Thank you," because I've been a repeat before. So
it's like don't want that to happen again. Thanks.
No, thanks.
That is true. No, that is very smart. That is very smart.
And I was like, okay.
Well, I'm glad y'all enjoyed the long weekend. It was needed. It was needed and necessary. So even though the world is crazy and this country crazy, like it was just so sad to be in New York and see Philly, literally like where that shooting happened. I look out at that like at work like every day. And I'm like, that's fucking wild to me, and we probably would have been there if we didn't go to New York. So like, yeesh. Oh no!
I mean, like it's like literally waking up on the 4th of July and then hear about what happened in Highland Park. I was just like, but at the same time, I was like, it's actually quite fitting, given where
there's
this
nothing more
is.
American.
I was like, at this point, what is more American than that? Which is sad to say out loud, but it's even more sad that that's the reality of the fact. Like, it's not even a joke. It is just the truth at this point,
Yeah.
And then, of course, that boy was taken out of his home. Nothing happened to him. And everyone's argument was, well, he didn't point a gun or shoot at the police, so that is why he's alive. Okay. All right. Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. Exactly.
Just another day in America.
This is America. Literally, it's and it's sad. And this is not us joking about the folks that like died and all that stuff, but it's just like
that's not even the point. Yeah,
this is so wild that like it's daily, it's multiple times a day, and we're all becoming numb to it, sadly so. And everyone keeps on saying it can't be their community, and then next thing you know, it's your community, and that's scary as shit, yo. Like,
like you want to celebrate, like part of the 4th of July is celebrate being an American and your rights. And then you got people dying because they're flexing these rights that you want to fight for and you want to argue about. Like, what about those who passed away now? What about these families that are forever affected by this? Like, it's their right to be to want to live.
1000%.
And they were just going to a parade. And there's no way that you can protect a fucking parade unless it's like the presidential parade, which is impossible to do. So what, now are we not going to be able to celebrate and have parades in this country because you still want your guns?
And no one is still, period. And no one has still explained to me why you want a fucking gun in the first place. Like, no one has been able to explain it. Yeah, I don't get it.
They want to shoot black people.
Oh yeah, you did explain that. You did say that a few episodes. You were right.
I mean, you know, that's exactly what it is.
Well, stay safe as you can out there. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But before we get too far in the episode, last week we talked about obviously the abortion rights being taken away and Roe v. Wade, and an awesome community member that actually just recently started listening to us. They sent us a message here, and I don't want to mess up your name. It starts with a Q, so I'm just going to call you Q. But they said, hey, I'm sure you all know this, but when you're discussing abortion, it is pretty important to be gender inclusive. People who can become pregnant, people with uteruses, as the TERFs are out here focusing hate and violence on trans folks right now. As usual, it's primarily white women, but the rhetoric can get into speech without being really intentional about it. And trans folks need all the support protection we can get. It's rough out here. 1000% agree. And I love that correction. I love you chiming in and letting us know, hey, because obviously that wasn't our intent.
Yeah.
But you're 1000% correct. And the episode should have been, like, you know, because I think the title was what? Abortion is a woman's right or something like that.
Yeah.
It should be people's right. Period.
Yeah.
And you're 1000% in those with uteruses. And thank you. Thank you for chiming in with that.
And that's the part, you know, of having a platform, and when we want to use it to elevate, you know, voices, you know, we can only speak to things that we know. And so we love moments like this because that adds to our knowledge to be able to then speak to things in a more accurate way that gives more representation to other people as well. Because that's not something I honestly thought about.
Right.
But the moment you like sent that message, I was like, oh,
1000%.
I was like,
absolutely correct.
Duh, like that makes absolute sense. But my mind didn't even go there.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, community, if you want to correct us, and this is why to correct us, don't be trying to correct us just to be hating, though. There's a difference. There's tonality. But 1000%. So I appreciate that. And thank you for joining the community too, because they recently joined maybe a month ago. And mentioned, and actually let me read how they found us too, because let's see here. I think it just like popped up on they listened to different queer podcasts and things like that. And they're like, Minority Report popped up, and they clicked on it, and they've been listening ever since. So I'm like, that's pretty dope. That you actually like us. Thank you. So
I love that. Honestly, I still love, like, because I don't be on the IG as much as you do, Kerel. But sometimes I'll go on there and I'll just, like, you know, see what community members are talking about and stuff like that. And I honestly, it still surprised me that people listen to the podcast. Like, someone like, oh my God, I was listening to it. I was like, oh my God, you were listening?
It's like, word?
Like, yeah. And like, I've had a couple of people like follow me like on my own like IG and like, oh my God, Auntie, like, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, me. Because honestly, this is just something I just love to just genuinely do, and just to spend time with the two of you.
Yeah.
That I forget that we're at the end of the day, we are also sharing all of this with everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't care, so please don't take that part. It's just more so that, like, it's just that authentic. Like, I'm just genuinely here because I enjoy being here. I'm not trying to be someone that I'm not, or trying to force people to listen, you know? So it's really dope.
I actually love the fact that that people go beyond the podcast and reach out to us like individually. You know? Like that to me is like, when we talk about community, that's to me is like part of that. It's You know, let's be connected. Let's support one another. Let's have conversations. Let's kiki. Let's, you know, do a wig party. Let's do whatever. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But that's part of this experience. It's connection and
1,000.
feeling like feeling like you there's somebody out there that gets your perspective and being able to connect with them. Like, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But on that note, actually, you know what? Let's take a quick little tea break early because we haven't done drag race in a little bit. So I'm sure that might take a little longer this episode. So we'll take a little tea break. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo,
Aunties
got
merch! Hey! That's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there. So go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find us at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to minorityReport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. Alrighty, ladies, what time it is? What time it is?
It's time for me to figure out this
Wait.
damn chair.
The struggle's real over
got
there.
this complicated ass chair. There are like 4 different knobs on this damn thing. And now it's like permanently stuck, leaned back, like I'm just
Okay, Fat
about to
Joe.
go drive somewhere. You know, like
Come on, Remy.
I wish I could show y'all this damn chair. Like,
Done with you. All right. What time is it? Ask your aunties. All right. Who wants to read it this week?
I'll read. Hey, aunties, do you truly enjoy
What? Ooh, new one.
Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
remix.
Scratch that.
Remix.
Look,
Florio. Right.
look.
We saving
right.
that one for another episode.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Forget that. All right. How many times do you keep trying social groups before you decide it's not working? How many times do you keep trying new social groups before you decide you're just not clicking with anyone and that it's not going anywhere?
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like it's different at the age I am now than it is maybe or was maybe in my early 20s or even teenage years and things like that. I feel like it changes maybe by decade or by even half a decade.
Mhm.
Because I find the older I get, the less time, maybe it's not less time, but you're more picky with the time that you do have
Yeah.
and who you want to spend it with.
Mhm.
But then also it makes it harder too, because a lot of folks get that way and you kind of stick with the friend groups that you like really love already. So as many times as I've moved, I do find that latter piece being a lot harder because friend groups, like I get it, like you get picky with your time. And when you do have the time, I'm going out with these same people, I'm catching up with them, and then I'm going back home because I either got to work in the morning, I got kids, I got whatever it may be. So I feel now you kind of know a little quicker too. Like, okay, they was cool, but I don't feel like following up ASAP. If I see them out, cool. If not, cool. But if I like you, then you're probably going like, let's do dinner. You come over to dinner and things like that. You find ways to kind of find that connection more so. Where in my early 20s, I was like, hey, I'll see you at the bar and don't even barely know you and see you at the bar and go, hey girl, what up? Because you just really want to party and it is what it is. And it's a social atmosphere and you just living life. It gets a little harder when you get older because the body just doesn't recoup as quick either. So I think now, I would say now at 38, I'm more aware earlier on that it's probably not going to be something that I'm going to invest too much energy and time into, or easier to identify folks that I want to invest more time into, especially now, even like in Philly, be like, okay, a couple people I've already met, cool, nice people, but I don't know if we're on that same level quite yet or whatever it may be, and still kind of figuring that piece out. But it's
How long
fairly
does it
quick for
generally
me.
take you? Yeah, how long does it generally take
I
you to kind
probably
of
got an
figure out?
inkling in the first the first meeting.
Yeah.
That's not to say that I won't like still be like, okay, well, if you guys are out, I'll hang out with you and say hey to you, but it might not be one where I'm like texting you to follow up and hey, what are you guys doing this week? Or let's make a plan in 3 weeks when we're all finally have time free again. Yeah. So I think fairly early on I could tell if it's going to be something
If the
more
vibe
than
is
just
right.
a social aspect versus someone that's really going to be in my life.
What about you, Jarrell?
I don't really have a lot of social groups. Like I find every time that I grow as an individual, I find myself then having a social group that fits that period of my growth. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have like my core group from Minnesota who were like the the chosen family that I met when I was coming out. And I was first going into the bars and we were, in college and, just turning up when, had to snatch waist and all the rest of that. And then I have like you all who fall into that part of my time when I was in my later 20s, where I was really starting to come into it and really focusing on adulting. And then so I have you all and that social group. And then I have my social group here in Seattle that consists of like 5 people, but they're like the first time that I've ever moved away and found family
Mm-hmm.
in this new land that I now live in. But for the most part, I don't try to fit in other groups because I just know that I don't like everybody and everyone don't like me. So I don't even bother with
Facts.
trying to find a group because I always know that there's going to be that one person I do not like. And I don't do fake and phony. So I won't even be a part of a group where there's at least one person. If there's one person in that group that I don't fuck with, I am not doing it. I'm sorry. Because I know that at some point I'm going to slap the fuck out that bitch. So I'm just going to avoid the whole group and I would pick out the individuals in that group that I want to do some one-on-one time with. And
Yeah.
then if I want to throw a party, then I'll invite all the cool people that I have surrounded myself with and throw a party. And it's crazy because every time I do that, people be like, you surround yourself with the best people and like there's never any drama and you don't got to worry about it. And I was like, because I make sure that I keep certain type of energy around in my life. And so in social groups, you don't often find that same matched energy. And I don't have that time. I don't have that desire to be trying to be around people that's not on my same frequency. Outside of that, the only other time I will try a social group is if I'm doing like a sport. If I'm playing like
Mm-hmm.
volleyball, if I'm on a volleyball team, if I'm on a dodgeball team or a kickball team, at that point, that's as close as I consider a social group. And I see you on the court. I might have a drink with your ass afterwards as a team. But like Kerel said, I'm not texting you being like, hey, what you doing afterwards? And
Yeah.
no, I prefer that individual connection. I got enough chosen family in my groups that I don't need any other social groups. I'm Gucci. So yeah.
And it's fine
So
to
how many
have the
times?
different like pockets, I feel like too. Like it's fine to
Yeah.
have that sports social group and maybe the folks that you call on when you want to go just turn up at the club and the one that you want to knit at home, I don't know, play
Right.
board games at home or whatever. And I think that's fine to have those different collections of groups as well, the kind of the different parts of your being, because not everyone wants to do everything
So
that you're interested
Yeah.
and
in.
that's a good point. And that's why I love the social groups that I'm in because everyone is fucking unique. Like some people are into theater, some people are into sports, some people are into fashion, some people are into just being homebodies, like some people are into traveling. Like so I get all those aspects, all those different parts
Hmm.
in my social groups already that I don't need those mini pockets because someone in my group already scratches that itch for me. So I'm
Hmm.
Gucci. you know.
Yeah.
Um, but those are hard to come by. Those are honestly hard to come by. Um, the only reason why I stumbled into the one that I have now in Seattle is because our common denominator was volleyball. for our core group that I have with you all, our common denominator is Chicago.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and then from the ones that I have back in Minneapolis, our common denominator is like literally coming out and growing into being legal drinking adults.
Yeah.
So like there's something that
I like the key on legal.
Legal, right. Because you know, we ran from the popo a couple times, you know. But you know, so there was at least one common denominator, but we left room for making sure that, you know, other people could just be themselves outside of whatever that one thing that is that linked us together. So
what about you, Dawon?
I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, I have to assume that this is perhaps somebody who is fairly young in their maturity as a, you know, as a social adult, right? Or somebody that's newish to the scene, whatever their scene is, right? And I'm just trying to put myself back in that position of what was it like when I was, you know, when I didn't have like a core group of friends, you know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with exploring different social groups. I mean, obviously, when you're going out or meeting up with people and you're being invited to join these different, because I mean, you just can't like walk up. I mean, you can, but it doesn't happen like this. You don't just like walk up to a group of people like, "Hey, can I hang out with y'all?" And then try to be like, "Let's see if this works."
Can I hang with y'all? Can I be with y'all? Can I roll with y'all?
I mean, sometimes that might be a strategy and it could work, but usually it doesn't happen like that. So usually it's kind of like a situation where you have a common interest, like a sport or something like that, or it's a dating situation and you date this guy, this girl, or whatever. They introduce you to their friends, and that you see their vibe, and you know you become de facto part of their group because you know you're with the person that they know, and you know it just. I'll just say it's important for people to recognize what you're looking for. Like if you're just looking to be surrounded by a bunch of people because you're looking at other people's Instagrams and you're seeing, you know, pictures of them with like 15 different, you know, gays or queens or lesbians or, you know, or whatever, and you think that's the life for you, um, I mean, you can pursue that. I would offer that there's something more meaningful that's out there, and for me, I think my advice is go for those one-on-one interactions. Find somebody within the group that you feel like you can have some kind of a meaningful platonic relationship with. You know, not sex as a means to having a friendship or anything like that, but like really explore that. And I think that you'll find that the people that you gravitate towards through that lens will be, it's much more intentional about how you engage with them and then how they receive you and then how they respond back. Um, you know, the notion of like how many times do you try social groups before you figure out it's not working? Look, best advice I have is if it ain't working, do something different.
yeah.
If you, the minute that you figure out this maybe isn't for me, there are a lot of fish that are in the sea. There are plenty of opportunities out there. Even if you're in the smallest of small towns, there are communities, there are organizations. You know, we live in a very hybrid world where even if you can't meet up in person, you can do things via Zoom. You can build connection via Zoom, so that you have that. But don't stay don't stay in a place where you don't feel it it's right for you. And if you're hopping around from group to group or whatever, maybe that's what you need to do for a little bit until you figure out, you know, what energy you need to be putting out there so that you can receive that same kind of energy back.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, and I want to also share too, because I kind of, now that I think about this, I kind of did this year actually once I started with Amazon. And to Dawon's point, like I joined the Black Employee Network, which is called Ben, and that's part of Amazon's Black employees.
Ben.
And yeah, Black Employee
Ben,
Network.
the two of us.
So they were doing.
I'm thinking about Rice.
Oh, I was thinking about Michael Jackson and the Rat.
I'm like, okay.
But for Black History Month, they did a breakfast. They did a breakfast, and it was finally in person. And so I met this group of other Black folks who work at Amazon at my table. And we were like, you know what, like we're all new, like let's have a little group chat. And then we all did one happy hour, and then two of us clicked, and then it just became one on one. And then I introduced her to some of my people, and then she introduced me to some of her people. And now we have like this group of like Black Amazon employees or just Black people in tech in Seattle that we just hang out with now. We call ourselves the cousins because it's literally like hanging out with your cousins.
Yeah.
You know, but it was something that just organically happened, that I just went to a network to be surrounded by what I was looking for, which is other Black people.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from there, I was able to network and connect with another individual that spawned into a group of our own. So, kind of to Dawon's point, I think that's a very good idea to go to an environment where you're surrounded by people that you're looking to want to be friends with, and maybe connect one-on-one versus trying to be like, well, who's the big group that's already there? Because the truth is those groups are like the mean girls. They're the ones who be like, you can't come sit with us, we already got enough people. So find other people who are also maybe new in those groups and network with those individuals, because you already have something in common already by being the new people to them. So I would suggest probably doing that.
And I think it's the energy you put out is the energy you're going to get back to. Like, because if you're going in there already like, well, bitch, I don't know who you is, that's the energy you're going to get back. You know? And so we've all seen people like that. We're like, nobody wants to be your friend because you're not a kind person. Like, no one can stand your ass. And so sometimes you might need to check yourself. But like, what energy am I putting out? Am I putting out energy that somebody wants to even want to be my friend?
So I feel like there's a lot of people out there that just want to be part of a clique. You know what I mean? They want to be part of a clique. So their aspiration is to be part of that group, and so whatever that group is. And you know, I mean, everybody has their own journey. You know, so if that's the thing that you're on right now, you know, I mean, if you like it, I love it. But I do feel that, you know, people that are like trying to find something meaningful, that are trying to find something real and authentic, you move differently. And it starts with your intention. And there's so much, and I'll just speak on behalf of my experience in the gay world. There's so much like projecting that happens within our community of what life is really like. And when you really talk to like these other people that are out there, they're lonely as fuck. They may have 1,000 people that are around them. They may have people that are going out with them to bars every 5 nights out of the week. They may have amazing jobs and but they're really miserable, you know. And some of them are living their lives and living their fantasies, you know. So you have both of those spectrums. But at the end of the day, if you're not clear about what you're trying to go after, like if you're going after like the IG follower, I want to be, you know, the influencer in my city and you can go after that. You may or may not be successful, but I think if you go for people that go after more meaningful relationships where they are actually being open, authentic with other people, they're taking the first step to invite other people to do things and whatnot. I think the return that you get on that kind of investment is much more meaningful relationships that will last the years, not just, you know, light up your IG or your TikToks or, you know, whatever it is you're on.
And, you know, I will say some of the like best memories that I've had, or like some of the deepest laughs where I've been laughing so hard that I probably cried, have also been in some of those one-on-one moments when you have with your bestie, where you be like, bitch, well, why don't we got a TV show, bitch? Because this shit is funny as fuck. Like, you know, a lot of those times have actually happened on one-on-one moments. Not saying that they don't happen in groups too, because groups can be funny too, but like, you also get you can have that same kind of feeling just one-on-one with somebody as well too. So maybe figure out having a one-on-one person first before maybe trying to figure out 5, 7 different people to be junking your time with.
I met my best friend Milos. I know we had this question, like, do you call your best friend after a certain age?
Oh, yes.
But I still say that. I say that.
You call her sister too. I heard that over there. You're like, hey, sister. I was like, oh, that's cute.
But we met literally on the dance floor on Pride weekend 21 years ago. And like it just goes to show you that no matter where you are and what you're doing, both shirts off, shaking our tits for Jesus or whatever, and we, for whatever reason, we struck up a conversation with literally a conversation, and on the dance floor, and from that moment on, we were like besties, best friends across the miles, across the years, and finally we're living in the same city. So my best friend lived, so far away from me, 1,000 miles away from me. And this was not in a Zoom world or whatever. So like it took a lot of effort to maintain that relationship. But it just goes to show that when you put that kind of energy out there and being open and receptive and you're just being genuine with people, you get that shit back, and it is some of the best gifts that you will ever receive 100%. In life.
And you're doing what you're interested in. That's maybe the foundation. Find people that, like, even like you said, influencer. Even if it's an influencer and you guys are great at photography, you're great at videography and all this stuff, and
they know what I hit you with their angles, bitch. But oh no,
exactly. Like
they right there, Instagram.
You're now finding someone that's interested in the things that you are also interested in, and that's when your soul becomes happy. That's when your soul is just like, yes, you understand me. I see you. You see me. We see each other. So those are the cool relationships, and it's also okay that it lasts a season though. Because sometimes we get so maybe like sad that we're like, man, I haven't checked in on that person. It's like, it's not that I'm not thinking of them and I can quickly say, hey, but like, I just don't have the time right now. It doesn't mean that you don't love them anymore, but just like sometimes the seasons come and you know what, next thing you know, 4 seasons down the line, you're back together and you just never know. So like holding on to those that are near and dear to you, but it doesn't have to be some like movie moment. It could just be like, hey girl, I'm thinking of you, bye. And kind of keep with those relationships. Or if you want to, obviously more than that. But like I feel like sometimes we try to make friendships look like it's some teen rom-com moment, and it doesn't have to look like that. It could be whatever you need it to be, as long as you each other are seeing each other for what it's worth. And you don't have to explain that to anyone else.
But also, I have to say this though too. But also understand though that friendships are work too, though.
Oh, it doesn't mean it's not work. It just means there might be times where you might not be as close as, like, say, if you're living in the same city and things like that.
Right. I'm not talking about to what you're saying. I was just saying it to the community that it's important that people know that friendships are work as well too, because you got to remember, like you were saying, it's a two-way street. Even though sometimes your street may be blocked off right now, just know at some point you're going to have to open your street up and pour back into that individual. Even if you are busy, just a simple text. Because let me tell y'all something. At the end of the day, now how technology is, it takes 5 seconds to send a text message just saying, hey, hope you're doing well. That's it. We don't have a full ass conversation, but a text message that takes 5 seconds go a long way as far as doing something. And a lot of people think that, people are just supposed to be your friend. They're supposed to just show up, and they're supposed to go to your birthday party. They're supposed to go to your birthday trips and just go do this one. Like, no, but if you're not giving that to them, people ain't gonna show up for you like that. So don't expect people to show up for you and do those best friends things if you're not giving that in return. So just remember out there, people, that they are work. You're going to have to put in to have that 21-year friendship, or like me and my bestie, we met at Pride as well too, 15 years ago, this Pride. Yelling at each other, dancing with each other.
Were you dropping it low for Jesus too?
We were at the parade, okay? At the parade, dropping a low across the street, dancing with each other. So,
that's right.
But we had to put in work.
Yeah.
So.
Well, community, if you're looking for a friend, you got 3 aunties right here. We'll be your friend as well. Come and join the community. And even if you don't want to talk to us, there's a whole lot of folks that listen to this podcast and, are part of the community that maybe there's someone out there that wants to be your friend, and you guys have very similar interests.
Get into
and
those
like
comments.
That. So
when we make our posts, comments, and that's a great way to meet other people in the community through our comments on our Instagram and stuff like that as well too. So
1000%. So continue to send your questions to Ask Your Auntie or your Ask Your Auntie's questions to aya@minoritetyreport.com or DM us.
Can I do a PSA?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a PSA, but maybe it's a how do I say this?
Just say it.
An auntie request. I was trying to come up with a cute little acronym or whatever, but it's not coming to me.
Auntie said.
I would love, in honor of Jarrell not being able to make it to Market Days, I would love it if you are a listener of Minority Report and you are going to be at Market Days, wear something Minority Report, so we can recognize you, because that would be amazing. Like, I would love to be able to go there and through all the people that are there, be able to see tank tops that say "Wash your legs, wash your hands, wash your ass." I would love to be able to see that. So, if y'all can do that, that would be lovely.
That'd be fire. Yes, and again, don't hold us responsible of what state we in. I don't
come to your house telling you how to live. Don't be coming over here, because, honey, we are going to be living, and we may be on different planets. So
that made me think about your story about that dream with them spoons. That's the first thing that came to mind.
He was so hot about them damn spoons. And if you don't know that moment, I don't know how many episodes, maybe 15. Oh, man.
I woke up upset. I was so mad. How you gonna tell me what kind of spoons go where?
I know that's right. Well, we haven't talked about Drag Race in a month almost now. Yeah. So it's the last 3 episodes. So I don't even know what episode, 6, 7, 8? I think.
Yeah, I think this is 8.
And I can't even remember what 6 and 7 was.
I can.
Or what?
Let's see.
He said it like, something that made you upset.
No, that made me upset. So this one was the...
what was 6?
6
No, I think we gotta go backwards.
Because I remember 8.
So wasn't 6 the acting one where they gave the double badges, correct? 6 was the double badges.
I think 5 was the double badges. Because we talked about 5. Badge,
and then they did, I think, was 6 the one where they did Fairy Tale Court?
I think that might be 5. Damn. See, we should have been. Hold on, let me look this up. Oh, here, just by the episode. Here we go. I got it on my phone. Okay, let's talk about 8, though, because the 2 best outfits I think I've seen, at least in the last handful of years, was on this one episode between Raja's dress and Shay's dress. I was like, this is some next level fucking drag shit that I am so fucking here for. Yes. But like, first when I saw Shay's, I was like, Shay, you look fucking good.
7 was Dolly. 7 was Dolly.
Oh yeah,
I knew 7 was Dolly. Yeah.
What was 6?
That's the one where Evie Oddly won. And
what did she wear for?
I don't remember.
No, that was Dolly, because it was the Vivian
6?
and it was the Vivian and Evie that did the Dolly, and the Vivian one because her face looked just like Dolly.
Oh, that's right. That's
yes,
right.
Looked just like
Dolly.
Oh,
did. Well, damn. Who care about 6? I guess, huh?
6 was some kind of like dance and choreography challenge. Oh, they did a rusical. With
2 groups. It was the 2 groups.
Right, the mean girls.
It was the
and
90s.
The
it was the
MTV.
It was the MTV.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Right.
TRL.
Yeah, the Total Request Live. Yep, that's right.
That's what it is.
Okay.
That episode actually, that's why we forgot it, because that episode was kind of so-so. Out of all the episodes this season. Oh, really? I thought that one for me was like, it was fine.
I thought the outfits, the theme on the runway was meh, but I actually liked the songs. I thought the songs were actually...
I'll give you that part of it.
We're pretty good. But the Dolly episode, I thought that one was more mad than any of the other ones. But the Vivian, the way her face was beat, I was like,
I don't know why it might be the fillers, but the way makeup sits on her skin,
it's amazing.
Like, it's insanity. Like it's like the most smooth skin.
Santa School for Girls. That's what it was. Santa School for Girls was this past week.
Yes, it was number 8. So let's ask this question: who, after these last 3 episodes, is in the lead? Is it still Jinx? Because Jinx was like the front runner the first half of the season, probably followed by the Vivian. Do we agree with that statement?
I'd agree with that.
So the last 3 that we haven't talked about, has it stayed the same? Has anyone been like, oh shit? Obviously, Jada has 3 stars, so she's leading. But do you feel the momentum is on her side, or is there someone sneaking up that might take her spot by the end of the season?
I think the thing that we don't know. So I think that Trinity good Lord, I can't get it out. Trinity the Tuck. I think she's a contender, just because she's just been doing consistently really, really well in a lot of, not just doing well, but doing standout well.
Yeah.
Like, like Shay is doing well, Raja is doing well. I'd say, in my opinion, Evie and
Monet.
Jada. No.
Oh.
Well, and Monet, I feel like those are the ones that are kind of like trailing the bottom, out of the top performers.
Yeah.
But I also and I said this from the very beginning, I believe that this season the winner is not going to be who we expect it to be, because there's this whole thing that has to deal with these badges.
Yeah.
And 3 episodes ago, they won. The winners of that particular episode 5, got 2 badges and got to give 1 away. So who's to say there isn't some other twist that's coming down the pipe?
I think there is going
that
to be.
could change the whole goddamn game. So who you think is going to be the front runner? Because I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the top 4 that have the highest repeater legendary
stars.
The top 4 will go into kind of like a SmackDown, run for the crown.
Yeah.
But she refers to her like a lip sync Lollapalooza
or whatever she calls it.
Which means then they'll pretty much lip sync against each other. And then go from there. So if that's the case,
tournament.
But I think honestly it'll probably be the Vivian that's going to honestly win it, and I don't think Jinx will win it because her lip sync isn't horrible, but it's not that strong. Yeah. It's not that strong. Raja's isn't either. So
Raja be doing the
look
playing with the hair,
and she only won because was it the Vivian that was in the final this past episode, right?
Yeah.
Because she did that cartwheel and she slipped and fell.
So it is.
That's the only reason why.
So it is.
And had she not slipped and fell, then it would have went to her.
But I don't know. That dress, though, might have still made her win because they were obsessed with that dress. Rightfully so.
Rightfully,
that
absolutely.
Fucking out. You didn't.
It was cute. It was cute.
Shut up.
I mean, I'm not. It wasn't bad by any stretch of the measure, but I wasn't like ooh, goo goo gaga.
Oh, I was like, this bitch that came over here and looked like she done landed from Mars from 2072.
It was not what I would have.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You're talking about Raja? Or you're talking about? Oh, I'm
Raja.
sorry. I thought you were talking about the Vivian.
Oh no. I could get that cardigan at Banana Republic next week.
I was not impressed by hers as much.
That's why I was like, it was all right.
Yeah.
She was at the airport and they were like, oh, this
Raja,
is more than 50 pounds.
100%.
Yeah.
Raja, 100%. Raja's outfit and Shay. I love that Shay has been doing a nod to indigenous peoples and indigenous tribes. I love that she's allowing that to show through her craft. That's giving such a platform. I do think, however, that from a judging standpoint, and I've said this again the entire thing, these judges have been way too easy on them.
Yeah, they haven't been digging in at all.
Yeah, at this point of the game, okay, yeah, they're all doing great, but can you give them some critique? Every time we get literally, I just want to fast forward through the judging because it's literally just them gushing over what they did. And it's your job is to critique. Yeah. What could they have done better? And looking at some of the performances, there are things that could have been done better.
Who could have done something better? In this latest episode, 8.
I think Monet could have done a lot better. I really didn't. It felt like, it didn't feel like she was acting. It felt like she was saying lines.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that, number one. I thought I like a little bit of the the topness, but like I felt like Jada's, kind of like nerd and kind of like all of the eye expressions and all that. I get it, but it was a little like more cheese than it was camp to me.
Okay.
I didn't really care for Raja's interpretation of the goth girl because it didn't
I
feel
like
gothy to me,
much,
and I really didn't like her outfit. Like she did, I would have loved to have seen more like really heavy dark makeup, like something. But I didn't get that. I think the Vivian did a phenomenal job. I kind of liked Jinx's choice to try to make her small part as big as possible with the vocal fry and then changing to the double voice or whatever, but it felt a little forced and it didn't feel as natural. Yeah. And I don't know what the fuck Evie was smoking because she always does that goofy face. I'm just like, girl, this is an acting challenge. You need to be not yourself. Like, channel some of that. You know?
So you only like the Vivian. That's the only one left.
I mean, I think she.
Oh, and Trinity, I guess. Yeah.
And Trinity was forgettable for me. For me in this challenge, it was forgettable. Like, because I literally forgot her. So literally. No edibles involved. So, like, in my view, the critique should have gone similar to that. Like, call them to the carpet. Yeah. And give us something to look. Give us something interesting to look forward to at the end of the episode. Because otherwise, it becomes like, okay, well, now that they got through this and I saw the outfits, I don't really need to watch the rest.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a feeling, though, like, part of the reason why they don't say, they don't give critique is because I think it'll then be that much more obvious to the viewers of who they're going to actually pick for the two winners. Like, honestly, I think that may be the reason. Because if they said, oh, well, you didn't do that well, but you did, then you automatically know who the two winners are. And with no one going home, then it kind of takes away from it.
Yeah. And they try not to fuck up their money.
Yeah. So I think that's part of the reason why they don't give the critique. Because I agree with you. Ain't nobody fucking perfect. And there have been other times too when I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? They'd be like, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm like, no.
Question for you. Do you think it's time for Jinx to change her silhouette? We know Jinx's style is very Jinx. Yeah. With that old school Hollywood. And her gown was gorgeous. Are we tired of the Jinx silhouette?
As fuck. Tired as fuck.
I think that's what's going to hinder her potentially from winning. As amazing as Jinx is at a lot of skills, I don't know fashion-wise, or maybe not even fashion-wise because that dress was probably expensive as shit, but silhouette-wise, for her to turn that corner and us go like, damn, I didn't know you had that in you, Jinx.
Yeah.
I think that's the one piece we're missing from Jinx.
Like the shock factor or the wow factor that I was getting from Jinx in like the first like 3-4 episodes are no longer there. Like I feel like she has plateaued. Like, yeah, that's it. You know? Yeah, and I'm hoping in these next couple episodes that some of these girls like Shay and Monet who only have 1 star, like figure a way to step it up to have 2, because at the rate that it's going, they're not making it to there's just no way. So they have to do well these next 2 episodes in order to be in the finale. Yeah.
So okay, we have 3 more episodes, and obviously by the time this our podcast episode comes out, there'll be 2 after this. Who's making it? Who's your final 4? Who do you? And obviously, we don't know if there's a twist that is going to occur. We don't know anything. But as of now, who's making it?
Not Rue being like, actually, all of you are going to do those.
She probably going to do some shit like that. You're right.
That would ruin the whole
season.
The whole
For me,
season.
it would ruin
What's the
whole-
point of
that
fucking badges?
That literally would be like watching a whole season of episodes only to find out it was a goddamn dream sequence.
Oh, you talking about Lost?
Like that.
I'm
is
still
a
mad.
whole waste
I'm
of
still
time.
mad. Okay, still mad.
Top 4 for me. I'm gonna say Vivian, Jinx, Jada, and Trinity is what I predict will be in there.
What do you
Different
predict?
than what my final wish would be, but
Well, okay,
that's who I think
we'll
will
save
be
that
there.
one for the next
Everybody
one.
black.
Or
We know.
Black. Right. Jerome, who do you think is gonna make it?
Honestly, my 4 is Dawon's exact 4.
Yeah, and that's my exact 4
It's
too.
my exact 4. Those
Trinity's just been
that,
too consistent.
yeah.
Which we should have known. Trinity was consistent her regular season, was consistent her All-Star season. She won. And this season again, she might, out of all of them, be the most consistent drag queen we've ever seen on Drag Race.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Shay. Besides maybe Shay before the season. First half Shay, but she hasn't been getting the badges. But I think her drag is still consistent.
But that's the thing. Like, I feel like Shay is the one who has been robbed the most of this season, though.
I agree with
because
that.
there's some episodes where I
agree
thought
with that.
Shay should have been the clear winner, and it's gone to someone else. So, like, I secretly wish that it was probably if it wasn't Trinity, and then it would flip flop between then Shay, Jada.
But Shay's acting, Shay's acting was forgettable this episode too, though.
It would be, Jada and Shay. I would think would be the ones that would have been switched. Yeah, but I mean, acting aside, just this past episode, her looks have been fire. Her when they did the TRL, like her lines were fire in that. Her outfit
she got robbed that
that
episode.
week. When they did the Big Bad Wolf like court thing, like she did a great job in that as well too. Her outfit was great there. I just like even when she did the dolly, I loved her dolly. I loved her took on the dolly look as well too.
The dolly I was fine. Let me think.
I just thought it was different,
Yeah.
But
I think what Shay brings is, I mean, in addition to all the amazing things she brings to her craft, she brings a very unique perspective.
1,000%.
And that shows up, and it shows up in her drag. It shows up in how she paints. It shows up in how she performs, and I love seeing that.
Yeah, that's who I want to paint my face. I want Shay to paint my face so bad. Like her makeup skills are just delicious.
I remember y'all saying that before.
Yeah. But I don't feel like shaving mine because I would have to shave.
She doesn't. She only shaves half of it.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to
goes,
shave half of mine.
They got product.
I know y'all mentioned about Shay's painting skills before. Like I'm talking like over 100 episodes ago. Yeah. And I'm just now getting to RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
But the moment I saw her, I was like, I get it. I understand what my sisters have been saying.
She's a league of her own.
Just ridiculous.
Evie's painting this season, though, stepped up. Evie's painting was not this good her season at all. Because when she turned the corner in this outfit, this episode,
too. I didn't
she's
realize
very creative.
Like when she made that orange pants.
I want those.
I was like, bitch, those pants are actually kind of cute.
Those pants are fire.
I was like,
those palazzo pants.
Yeah. So her pants skills,
queen culottes.
But yeah, I think the final 4 are probably going to be those 4 that you mentioned. If anyone, like you said, that might slip at the end, it might be Jada. Props to Jada though to come in. She was the COVID season, so for her to come in this season and do as well as she's done. Kudos to Jada. She also got a donator star. She did get a donator star. That's
but
true.
She still has 2 on her own, which is still more than Shay and Monet.
Which I don't know if she.
Well, Jada always does good with the sewing challenges. Like no one's gonna outsew her or Trinity.
Yeah.
Trinity be like, here's another thing. Here's another thing.
Although I will say though, Raja, that first sewing challenge though, I like that gold.
The golden. Oh yeah, she got. That's the
that
episode
gold,
she got
she
robbed.
got robbed. She got
That was
robbed. That was like
phenomenal.
that was
everything.
She got robbed that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So between Raja and Shay, they're the ones that got robbed the most.
Yeah.
Raja's coming on strong a little bit towards the end here. I'm glad we got to see Raja's kind of personality a lot more this season as well.
Oh yeah.
Damn, I love me with some Monet, but I don't know if she's gonna pull it out. I don't know if she's gonna pull out this season. I feel
like I get a very Monet's like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing my lines, and I'm just
getting this coin and building up my brand some more.
Honestly, I don't see like that angst. Just even in a lot of her deliverance, even in like when they do the confessionals, like don't really see it.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Like her, even like the drag that she brought, while it's checking the assignment, it's literally just checking. It's not this last episode when she was wearing like the booty shorts and
like the Brooklyn looking like she from the Bronx.
And I'm just like, again, if there was an opportunity for, critique from the judges, it's like, Monet, look at what your competitors are wearing and look at what you're wearing. It's not to say that what you're wearing looks horrible, but in the league of draggery.
How do you elevate that Bronx moment? Like, we've seen that Bronx moment before.
Yeah.
Like, how do we do it? Be like, like, kind of almost like Simone when she came with that long ass do-rag. That's how you elevate like a Bronx moment or something that we already know the do-rag. You exaggerate. So what was that with that puffer jacket or even the booty short like that? We were like, fuck, that's fire because I get the aesthetic. And you took it somewhere else that I didn't even know was possible. Yeah. And I agree. She's like kind of just checking the boxes at this point. Like, let me get this check and build my brand.
In my mind, if you wanted to do like a Bronx, kind of like, Banji girl look, which is what she was kind of going for, then she shouldn't have had like her own stocking. It would have been dope if like those panties were knitted into a color that was similar to her skin. And then knit it into a boot, and it was all knitted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are things that you can do to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a lot of, like, shine elements to it. So there was no beating, no stoning, So it's just like, how do you take it to the next level? You have to think about exaggeration. You have to play with a little trompe l'oeil, like a little tricking of the eye and all that kind of stuff.
She thick though.
She thick.
She thick though.
Now watch. In 2 days, she gonna be like, "What I gotta say now?"
Right, I know. Right, exactly.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Because we're rooting for you.
We're rooting for you. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Bitch, if she don't get it together, I'm gonna have her speaking into a hole like Rihanna.
I know that's right. But again, it's the most enjoyable season yet. Still, we've been saying that all season, and it's still very much enjoyable. Like I look forward to these next episodes,
100%.
Other seasons, I'm like, I feel obligated to make sure I just finish it up. But this season, I look forward to these episodes. I look forward to what they're going to turn around that corner with. It really is an
all-star like season. Like
1000%.
Everyone is consistent in bringing their shit, and it's just a joy to see people excelling at it at their craft. Like
that's the joy I get with Beyonce. Like the same joy I get with Beyonce because she's at this point she ain't got to prove shit to nobody else.
Right.
But you could tell she's still enjoying the craft of music, the craft of videos, the craft of touring, the craft of design, the craft of the entire thing. And that's what we're really seeing on this All Stars winter season is just they're enjoying the craft and showing you why they're good.
Man, their next All Stars.
Step it up.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
They're going to have to wait like 3 years. They're going to have to wait a good 3-4 years.
Yeah, to get enough talent, because not everybody can do it.
Unless they continue to bring maybe more overseas talent over that the U.S. just hasn't seen. I mean, if you watch Drag Race, a lot of people have seen the other seasons, but like maybe the majority hasn't seen. Like bring like a Pangina on, bring a and things like that. But we'll see. But all right, I know Community. You're like, okay, they've been talking about drag too much. Oh well, it is what it is. Catch up. If you haven't watched it, this is the season 2 watch. Anything else?
Quick shout out to Rihanna.
Yay, Billy. Call her Billy.
According to Forbes, she's the youngest self-made billionaire with a B out there. So, big ups to her.
Hell yeah.
And go out there and buy some Fenty, buy Fenty underwear, buy Fenty concealer, buy whatever you can.
I like the Fenty concealer.
Sister.
I wear it sometimes out here.
Yeah.
I use Fenty as well too for like the facial cleanser, and then the fat butter. What is it called? Fat water. I use that as well too. Yeah.
Hit the fat butter. I was like, ooh, what's that? The boy butter?
No, I think I use the Fenty foundation. I use a different concealer.
How that Tom Ford concealer?
No, it's not actually. I don't know what the brand is, but it's. I actually do have Tom.
I know you do.
Look, all right. No, you saw how we were looking. We were like,
I do. It's not in my regular rotation, but it's there. But the reason I didn't think about it is because I tan in the summertime, and it's a winter. It's
the winter color. It's the winter color.
So I put it on, and I look like a reverse raccoon.
Not a reverse raccoon.
Yeah, no.
I'm done. Oh man! And then shout out, who's that senator twerking on the beach? Shout out to you, girl.
Oh,
because
what the hell was her name?
Let's look her up right quick because you making everybody.
Tierra Mack.
Tierra Mack.
Come on now. Vote for Tierra Mack.
Yes.
Hell yes.
And it's like, here's the thing. I get there's a time and place for everything. I get it. However, you on the beach on the long weekend, and if you want to twerk something, and you running, it got the exposure, didn't it? And I'm guaranteed she's getting some donations. And it does not mean that you are not the right person for the job and don't have the skills, the knowledge, et cetera, to do so.
Look, when they say bring your authentic self to the workplace, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Upside down on the beach twerking. I'm here for it.
I need this as a TikTok challenge. This needs to be a TikTok challenge.
1,000%.
We need politicians to be doing this shit. Not regular people. I want to see I want to see. Do you got the moves? I want to see that.
I'm just saying.
Come on, Bernie.
Could you imagine Bernie trying to twerk like that?
Upside down, his balls will be hitting him in the face. Like it's suffocating.
It's a bunch of
I can't with you.
Not Bernie's balls. No longer the Bernie boys. The Bernie boys for real.
Y'all better stop playing. The way he was sitting last winter with his mittens on, he ain't doing that.
That was a whole auntie move. That was the auntie move of the century.
He said, I ain't doing that. That's what them young people.
I ain't fucking with these people. That is the move.
He probably had breakfast with Madam Maxine that morning. Getting some of that energy.
I would love to be at dinner with them too. That's an energy. That's a whole ass mood right there. Maxine and Bernie.
Can you imagine how many F-bombs that will be flying around that night?
Oh,
these motherfuckers trying to try me again. I would love to hear that.
I would be so here for it. But
I'm ready for our. Do you see that clip of that one that councilwoman that just went the F off? There was this councilwoman. I'll send it to you guys afterwards, and maybe we can post it or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was this video that went around, I think it was 3 weeks ago, of this councilwoman that basically got fed up because there was this vote. I forget exactly what the vote was, but it was just some bullshit. And she just called it flat. She's like, I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. Y'all up here playing games. I'm ready for that kind of energy. 1, That's the kind of energy I want in my politicians right 1, now. I need fight. I'm tired of these jokers that are sitting around, just pacifying.
I know that's right. And don't sleep on Usher Raymond no more. He did that tiny dance, and that shit was so fire.
It was so good.
He had to let y'all know right quick. He is Usher, baby. USHERRAYMOND.
Superstar, and the clip that was circulating, Superstar, is still one of my favorite songs.
Honey,
and I was like, bitch, you still sound just like fucking Confessions.
I was like, come on now. I was I know that's right. Yeah, he said y'all watching that sorry ass verses with Mario and Omarion.
He said,
was
get the fuck out of here.
He said, "Don't put me in them same breath with them motherfuckers." Mario sounded alright. He sounded good, but Usher
Mario
came out here and
sounded really
said,
good.
Yeah.
But Usher came with that tiny diz and said, "Hold on,
Ray
let me show
J?
y'all how." They gave him. They put the favorite one was I put on that story the one where it was the Jeffersons theme or whatever because he was doing that little. I was like, oh my god, that's too much for me.
The funniest for me was Brandy on the side of the on the side of the stage, videotaping him like he was really doing something. Like,
you know, sometimes you gotta support your siblings.
But you don't. But here's Brandy the next day being like, "Oh, so you gonna delete my comment that I posted earlier? Like, I told you to drink your tea and shut the fuck up, but you out here running your mouth and not listening. And look what didn't happen." I said, only a real big sibling gonna call their little sibling. I was like,
absolutely, I'm here for that.
Period. So, but yeah, don't sleep on Usher Raymond. All right, community, be safe out there. Wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.